This is VRoc. 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 Chops. This is VRoc Chops.
Welcome back, Chop Nation. Listen, we're back with another great. We're back with the Prof.Derrick, Mr. DG Greene, man. So everybody put your hands together. Give me a little drum roll right here from my boy Prof. Greene. What's up, bro?
This is VRoc
Not
Chops.
much, man. Just hanging in here, trying to keep everybody head on straight during this COVID season.
Man, I understand, bro. It's a trying time, so.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, listen, man, I'm not gonna hold you long because I know you got things to do and people to see. So we'll go ahead and get into these questions, bro. We're gonna start with the first one, which is what high school did you attend? And for the people that don't know, what college did you attend?
All right. So I actually attended high school. I'm from Chattanooga. So I attended Chattanooga School for the Arts and Sciences. I was there from kindergarten until I graduated. So
Oh wow.
same school. But unfortunately, we didn't have a marching band, and I'm kind of thankful that we didn't have a marching band because if we did, it probably would have been chorus style. But God worked it out that my aunt knew somebody who worked at Howard High School in Chattanooga. She knew one of the assistant principals, and she got in touch with her and asked her, could I march over there? And she was like, yeah. So I started marching over there, and I wanted, of course, because I'm young. I'm one of the drumline babies. So drumline came. I was like, I want to be in the band.
Yeah.
So of course I want to play snare. That's natural, like everybody that come in the drumline. I want to play snare because that's all you see. Wanted to play snare, and then I saw they was like, well, we don't have no spots open because they only had a limited amount of drums. And they was like, well, you can play tenor drum. I was like, I don't know what that is, but all right, bet. So I played tenor drum, and I actually kind of fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So through that, we went to a bunch of homecomings. We went to that, and we went to Magic City Classic. We went to Southern Heritage one year, and then of course every year we went to Tennessee. We went to TSU homecoming. And I saw them up close at the Southern Heritage. I went to Southern Heritage in 2009. I was like, I don't know if I want to go there because that was a bad year for TSU. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
But,
and them dudes across the field, no name needed.
but yeah, man. Then we came to homecoming. I was like, okay, bet. So these folks actually bumping. And they in Nashville. I don't like car rides.
Yeah.
I can't stand a long car ride. I hate bus trips. I just rather get on the bus and we magically appear at the destination. So we came to the homecoming. I was like, all right, I can see myself here. So I attended the great Tennessee State University, best HBCU in the world, and played tenor drum. My first 2 years, was drum major my last 3.
Okay. Cool, man. So it's a great transition, great decision-making skills.
This is VRoc Chops.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the next one, man. What is your favorite drum rudiment, and why do you consider it to be your favorite?
As a tenor drummer, my favorite flam rudiment, after the single 4, is no, not after the single. Before the single 4 is the flam.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the loudest rudiment.
Yeah.
I love flams on tenor drum. I love it. Yeah, especially when you separate them correctly and just get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's the best part.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite thing.
Cool, man. The
And
flam.
you can alter them, of course. Have they're real versatile. They're like one of
Yeah.
the drum, the rudimental elements, as I put them. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Cool, man.
that's my favorite.
That's what's up. Cool, cool, cool. All right, for Mr. DG, what was that moment you knew you wanted to be a drummer? Like, this is what I want to do. And you kind of touched on it when you were speaking, drumline, but let's do a little elaborating on it.
Word. So actually, before I got into marching band or whatever, I was playing drum set.
Okay.
So the drum set was my first instrument. From pots and pans, of course. The stereotypical pots and pans, but
Exactly.
I actually got those pots and pans that I started playing on. Like my mom was like, "You old enough? Take these pans that you didn't." So she got some up. So yeah, those were my first set of pots and pans. I still got those at the house. After that, I went to a church. It was a big church at the time before it split or whatever. Our drummer had the world's most biggest drum set that I had ever seen at the time. Like it was like easily a 7-piece kit.
Yeah.
But then he had it mounted on a rack.
Yeah.
So he had all of the toms, and then on top of all the toms, he had all the cymbals. Like they were shiny. He took such good care of his stuff. Like he never touched his cymbals with his bare hands. He would take his drum set down every Sunday. I don't know where he put it. Because that drum, he had like a bunch of cases. Like he would come in, set everything up with the gloves on. I was like, bro, what are you doing? So even from the back of the sanctuary, all you see in the corner was just glisten. Like it was just bright in that and it didn't help that he was sitting in front of a window. So it was just bright. I was like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't even know what those things are called. I want to do that though.
Yeah.
Because it's shining. Like it was literally the brightest thing in the sanctuary.
Do you remember his name?
Yeah, Gerald Ware. Gerald Ware.
Where?
Down from the south.
Okay, shout out to Gerald Ware, man, for being such a professional drummer, even in church. So yeah, man. Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was my first taste of somebody, being professional and then taking care of your stuff. Because when you take care of stuff, it lasts a long time. So I'm sure he still got that same kit.
Probably.
I'm sure it still look good.
See, I took care of my stuff, but I never took it down. So people played, they have their way, and we got a lot of cracked cymbals. When I was at church, so cool, cymbals, man.
Heads and all those stuff.
Busted snare guts. Yeah, man. Listen, my drums at the church I played for has went through some things, man. So I lost literally probably 6 cymbals, countless snare guts. I don't even know how many screws.
Man,
everything. So
that'd be the word. You walk like, bro, how did you do this?
Yeah, man. You set for a certain way, and you when you leave, you want it to be that. It don't be Absolutely. Like that. You have concerts and people come in and want to get comfortable. I get it, but my stuff back how you found it. It don't matter now. I don't play anymore, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. All right, so man, we're gonna go into the last one before we. Let us know. No, we're not. We got 2 more. What is your favorite drum memory from you playing, marching, teaching, whatever? What is one of your favorite drum memories?
I got a bunch, honestly. So I guess my favorite from when I was marching, high school and college. I'll divide it up that way.
All right.
High school was when I first figured out how to do like a herta on the tenor drum, like when that was popular. Like when I first figured that out, I was like, oh, bet. You can't tell me nothing. So we played the solo cadence. So everybody take a solo. It came down to me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm finna run these folks across the field.
Yeah.
And for the longest, like in the city, wasn't nobody doing that on the tenor drum.
Right.
Until I forget his name. He went to one of our rival schools, Tyner. He figured it out, and we used to be going at it,
Yeah.
like at it. So yeah, that was one of my favorite memories, like just kind of advancing our in the city. And I know that's something that came about before, but in the city wasn't nobody doing that.
Right.
And then in college, probably my sophomore year when we was playing concrete. And yeah, of course, it's my sophomore year. I'm on the end. You know, that's the prestigious place in college.
Yeah.
So I'm on the end. They call out concrete. It's nothing but cameras, and the stars all behind me. So I'm like, oh, I can't tear this up. I'm low key nervous. I couldn't hear the count off or whatever. I was like, man, forget it. I'm finna bump this junk. And I guess their seal of approval was I ain't really hear nothing negative towards me. It was like, oh, dude in the middle, you tearing it up. But this dude on the end, he holding it down. Like, that's all. I was on the cloud, man. After that, I was like, yeah, y'all listen to the word.
I'm here now, people. You know, I've arrived.
Yeah,
I'm in this thing. I get it. Cool, man. Cool. All right, bro. So the last question before we go to the dive into that thing. What is the biggest takeaway that you are applying from your throughout your life as playing that you're applying to where you are now?
A couple things, man. And this is stuff that I always try to pass down to my students. One, you gotta be disciplined. Practice everything, not just practice like the things that you want to perform musically, but practice the habits that you want to have. Like practice being on time. You got to practice doing your homework. You got to practice, prioritizing yourself over, partying and stuff like that. That, and then of course, attitude is everything. That attitude ain't right. 9 times out of 10, I don't care if you the coldest person ever. If you a jerk, for lack of a better word, they not gonna want to play with you.
Right.
Like if I can't vibe with you and you are rigid and stuff, and you just you just hectic to bring on the gig, we're not gonna hire you.
Right.
We're not gonna play with you. Ain't nobody gonna play with you if you can't be on time. If you ain't prepared, like you won't ever get hired. You can have all the chops in the world, man, but I've learned that, and it's been times I was just sitting place. I was like, he ain't the best. I wonder how he got this gig. And just talking to some folks that was older than me, it's not about, it's
talent
part of it is about,
talent isn't everything. That's one of my pastor. That was one of his biggest sayings when he was here. If talent gonna take you so far, you gotta have the intangibles that come along with being upfront, stand up type of
absolutely
person and musician. Yeah, so I get it, man. I get it. Well, so
yeah,
cool.
man, we get a lot of talented cats that come through here, but won't ever show up to class on time. Like you in Nashville, how you expect me to recommend you for a gig? You don't show up to lessons on time. You barely show up to band practice on time. I get it, you got chops, but I'm putting my name on the line for you. And you gonna be unprepared? No, sir. No, sir.
No, I get it, bro. It goes across the board, man. It goes from big gigs, small gigs, school,
Absolutely.
So it's gonna go across the board. So cool, man. All right, man. Let's jump back to the top, man. So we played for Howard High School.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was those for you? Well, did you start there in ninth grade or did you start there earlier
I
playing?
actually started in the 10th grade.
Okay,
Uh,
take grade.
so 10th grade was my introduction. Honestly, I kind of got thrown in the fire because I think our first big performance was probably the Howard and Brainerd game, which is like
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest rivalries in the city.
Mhm.
It's almost like the Whitehaven Fairleigh Showdown.
Well,
Yeah, that's the equivalent in Chattanooga.
gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of got thrown in the fire. But it was cool though, cause again, I've been playing drum set for years at that point.
And you're in your natural playing habitat.
Yeah,
So yeah, form. Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it was cool. We weren't, I guess, the most technical. We were just some folks with some drums having fun, honestly. Just having fun being in the marching band.
Yeah.
We weren't, I would look at college stuff and imitate or whatever. We probably tore it up. Actually, I know we tore it up, but
right. As we all did.
Yeah, looking back, like, oh yeah, we tore it up.
Yeah.
But but when we were doing it, you couldn't tell us nothing. Like we were just enjoying it, having fun. We would battle folks. Looking back on the battles, like, why did we play that? But at the time, man, we was having fun.
You was in there. You were living the dream at the time, man. Listen.
Absolutely.
We get it. It's us. That's what we do.
That's
man. So 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. Did you have a I know, like for me, I never took real lessons, you know what I'm saying? None of that. No official lessons and stuff like that. But in high school, did you have an instructor or somebody to mentor you and motivate you to, to show you what to work on, or how did that take place for you?
So unfortunately, we didn't. As a drumline, we didn't have an instructor. It was some random folks who would like come up. I guess they would talk to the band director or whatever, like, hey, can I show them some cadences? And then they disappear after a week.
Right.
But no, we didn't really have an instructor. At least, and not until probably my 12th grade year. Okay. I forgot his name. I think it's like Mr. Glenn. That's what we called him. He wasn't like a technical instructor, but he was somebody who just kind of steered us in the right direction. Like,
right.
If a lug came out or if a screw came out of a drum, like he would put it back. Yeah, but it wasn't like he was teaching us rudiments and stuff like that. Yeah. But other than that, no, my first drum lesson per se was in college. Okay. I had took band at the school I was actually going to for like 2 semesters, but that was beginning band. Okay. So I learned technique and a little bit of scales, but I didn't have, like, when I got to college, I didn't know what half this stuff in the studio was. So most of my learning, like most of my rudiments and stuff, I learned that on my own on the internet, watching the Vic Firth videos.
So like, what drove you? What drove you to even have the initiative to go to the internet to try to find those rudiments and stuff like that?
Well, my mom, man, shout out to my mama. She single mom. She had to work. So a lot of times when she was at work, I was at the house. So it wasn't like I just had people to sit down and help and push me and all that stuff. Like, and it's not that she didn't want to, she just couldn't. Right. A lot of times. She had to work. So she would show me like little stuff, she showed me how to cook. I'm like, all right, I got to work this morning. So let me show you how to make eggs, how to make pancakes, how to make hamburger helper. Yeah. She was like, here's the number to the homework hotline. I'm going to show you how to use it, how to talk to folks. So she really instilled in me that, that self-reliance, that independence. Yeah. From an early age. So even before I was about to audition for TSU, I was like, well, I know there's a such thing as rudiments, and I know the snare players be playing some, so I just started looking stuff up. And I was like, well, the name on my drumsticks say Vic Firth. I like their drumsticks. Let's see what they got. and I
Okay.
saw like the Vic Firth. I think it's like the 40 essential rudiments or something like that. I forgot what it was called at the time. Um, but yeah, I saw that, and I was like, well, let's see what they got going. So after that, yeah, man, that's kind of how I got to the internet.
Yeah, just curiosity to get there, man. And that's what's up, bro. I
Absolutely.
know. For me, like I said, I got my first formal lessons and teaching when I was in sixth grade. And
Hmm.
so with Teddy Hall, he kind of not kind of he put those because I didn't know what a rudiment was. I didn't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? I never played drum set. That's what
Right.
I did, same thing. But I had him in sixth grade to tell me, all right, Vincent, you need to work on X, Y, and Z. Do this. I did all West and all this stuff, in sixth grade. Like I would have been
Hmm.
great if he just been there. I told probably like I probably ain't no tell where I'd be right now, but he left.
Yeah.
So when he left, I just adapted to what was the normal, what we did, just play, go, do what we do. And so
Right.
I think once I got into ninth grade, that's when I kind of started. We never, like I said, we had my senior, we had like you said, Mr. Glenn. We had Mr. Glenn too, but we had my mistake to Brian Kemp, but he was just working on material. We didn't work on the details, the instructional
Yeah.
type stuff to what we work on. So that came over time, and just being around my peers, like you say the snare drum was playing something, but
Yeah.
same thing with me, man. So I learned on the fly, man. So I think I finally learned probably 80% of the 40, like I said, my senior year. And it was time
Yeah.
for me to
Same.
start, that's when I kind of hone in on it too. So I get it, bro. So that's what's up. So with that being said, and I
Hmm.
always like me, I love music too. When I came to state, I did music major because I like music. What drove you? Did you? So I'm pretty sure you picked music as your major, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what drove you to pick music as your major? And once you got into it, just going into Tennessee, that drive to push you to keep going within the music. Because for me, I'm like, man, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be, man. You gonna slide out
For
the way
real.
for a minute. So, but you stuck in that thing and you kept going. What was that driving force for you? And then we'll go back to March and stuff. I like this conversation.
Okay. So what did it for me? It was just so much stuff to learn.
Mhm.
So I could always distract myself from what was irritating me at the moment with something else in the studio.
Right.
Um, like when I got here, uh, and auditioned for Doc, um, first lesson, he was like, "All right, we're gonna start on marimba, or we start on snare drum or something like that." And then I was just looking around. I was like, "What is all of this?"
What?
Um, I know what the drum set is.
Yeah.
I know what the snare drum is. I maybe can figure out what a xylophone is. It's one of these things over here.
Right.
But yeah, when I yeah, coming through, I was just like, bro, it's this. He want me to play this marimba solo. I don't want to do this.
Mm,
So right now, I'm gonna work on this solo for a little minute. So I don't want to hear his. So I ain't got to hear his mouth. And that's kind of like the kind of thing that drove me a lot of times. Like I don't want. I really don't want to hear this man mouth.
mm,
Like I'm just trying to come in here, get this A, and be out.
yeah.
Um, so that's what kind of got me through my freshman year because it was a culture shock. Don't get me wrong. Coming from strictly drum set and marching band, I was like, "You want me to do what? No, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Um, I want to play drums and I want to go on about my business and go get on somebody's stage and make some
Yeah.
money." Um, but yeah, that's kind of what drove me to learn the fundamentals. And once I learned those, and we actually start putting them in pieces, it's like, all right, bet I can do this. And then I think what also pushed me even more was that my freshman year, I think it might have been the spring semester, my freshman year, he gave me a timpani etude. Never played timpani, but um, from day one, I fell in love with it. Like
Mm,
I ate that material up,
yeah.
and to this day, that's still one of my favorite instruments
Yeah.
ever.
Definitely.
Um, so that pushed me to learn everything else. Like, all right, I can learn timpani, and I can do this. And then I guess what kind of brought everything home was when I finally had like an orchestral gig. Not necessarily orchestral, but like a concert percussion gig. I was like, so you can make some money doing this?
Yeah.
Like, is bread in this? Bet. You ain't said nothing but a word.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what pushed me through it. Don't get me wrong, there's some days I'm like, I probably should have majored in biology or something, something that's gonna make some money when I graduate. But this is something that I've loved every step of the way, even bad days included.
Cool. So, what was your reading level once you got, because I hear you saying you jumped on the templates and you kind of fell in love with it. Where did your reading comprehension come from? And, even with Marimba learning notations and staff and all that stuff.
So my reading, honestly, it was rough. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like it was rough. Even after having like 2 semesters of concert band in high school, it was still rough.
Mm-hmm.
I could read rhythms,
Okay.
like single line rhythms. So snare drum, I was cool. Timpani, I was cool because it wasn't no chords at the time. And the stuff that I was playing at the time wasn't that, I didn't have 3 or 4 notes on top of each other, or it was probably 2 notes at the most, and most of them was rhythms.
Okay.
My marimba reading was something I had to work at even all the way up through grad school.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the school I went to, just because TSU, the kids we recruit, a lot of times we got to start from square one, and I was the square one.
Yeah.
I started from literally the ground up. So, yeah, it's something that I still work at. I still, just work on trying to improve and make sure those skills are maintained.
Yeah.
So yeah, for anybody out there watching this, man, if you struggling with reading, I still struggle with reading sometimes. Just keep going.
Hey,
That's
man,
it.
listen, I'm
Just keep
struggling right now.
No, ain't that right? He ain't lying.
Like, listen,
Man.
you were speaking on marimba, and I think marimba is something that I enjoy, but I'm not a virtuoso with it. I ain't no formatic type guy. You know what I'm saying? I just like playing it because of piano. My piano teacher that still have, but I don't take piano from him no more because I've done with those. But he instilled the joy of piano. And don't get it, I'm not cold at all. But how he broke it down is just me learning how to read the music. You know what I'm saying? And the notes. It might seem it was a big deal for me because I couldn't do it for years. You know what I'm saying? But the last the 4 semesters I took him, and I've actually enjoyed my growth. And I was like, I know the marimbas and the piano are the same instrument pretty much. But so with that, I was like, man, because I was telling her, I was talking to Christian. Yes, I said, bro, I gotta get me some malice because next week, because I'm finishing up all these assignments next week, I'm getting on the bells to work on this piece because there's some stuff you sent me. I don't know if you remember when you sent me you sent me a bunch of stuff, but it's in my you airdropped it to me while I was at school one day.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so it's a piece in there that I glanced at. I like, I'm gonna try this for my senior recital. So that's what I'm gonna start working on next week. But yeah, marimba is kind of like what I'm enjoying, and so my school is not. I don't have my percussion instructor for my school will be Prof. Lane. So that's who's gonna be beating me up in a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because it's coming, buddy. Listen to me. VRoc Chop might be on a pause after a while, man.
It's gonna be dope.
Listen, he gonna get me, but I'm excited for it. But I know, but yeah, there's a marimba. I think that's what I'm enjoying just because of what I can do with it. And you notice I've been messing with them with Whitehaven for the last 3-4 years, putting them in the shows and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's just a fun thing, man. So I'm gonna try. I need to get into timpani because I think you and I think Kaz both said, man, y'all really enjoy it. I hadn't.
It's fun.
I can't say I did, but I remember in high school, man. My partner, we spoke. He's been mentioned probably the last 3 episodes. Dude named Terrence Norris. We call him Tall Trees. When I
Yeah.
tell you, man, in high school, he was so cold on them joints. Mr. Banks, which was my band director my ninth and half of my 10th grade year, who's the principal here, one of the assistant principal here now. He's the
Mm.
orchestra director of Temple Deliverance. And man, he used to have trees going to church to play the timpanis for him at the church. That man he's always been good with them joints, and he didn't pursue music professionally. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna check him out, D. Just cause of how you enjoy them joints, I gotta look into them. So send me some
That's
music.
fine, man.
Send me some
I
music.
got you.
Bro. I need them. All
I
right,
got you.
cool. All right, so let's go. Let's go back to the fun. Let's talk about the first semester, that first year at TSU. Let's talk about. I know you said 09. You like I don't know about TSU. What was your decision making process for finally picking TSU, and what other schools did you think about attending uh, for college?
Okay. So, yeah, after that '09 year, I was already interested in TSU. So
Okay.
I knew I was still probably, I knew in the back of my head, I was like, this may just be a bad year. I'm still going to go. But that '09, it was like, oh, no, man, y'all getting that work in these stands. And that'll probably be the only L I admit to.
Listen, no, they didn't. They didn't lose the chop. Y'all, I got waxing 09 too. I know you're gonna watch it. Y'all got waxing 09.
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah,
You can't never get
that,
it.
that'll be the only, the only credit y'all get, you people over there.
You
But I had always played downright tenor. I didn't know what upright tenor was till I got to college.
really?
Yeah, like, well, of course, seeing at the Southern Heritage, I saw it, but
Yeah.
like when I was coming up, Alabama A&M had a downrights. Alabama State still got downrights. Like everybody that I watched had downrights. Miles had downrights, right? So I was like, okay. And I looked. I remember I looked on the JSU website maybe one time, and it was like, yeah, you gotta bring. At the time, it said you had to bring your own sticks and mallets and strap and all of that. I said straight. No, straight. I was too straight. Granted, I had all of that, but I was like, this seemed a little sketch. So I was, I had already applied to TSU, and I was just waiting and looking around. I looked at Cookman. I wasn't really paying their tenor drummers no attention at the time because they got uprights. They historically had uprights. I looked at them. Their application at the time was too long because they wanted you to write an essay, and that job was like 3 pages. I was like, straight. I'm not gonna do this. So it was kind of lazy, but I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna write no essay to go to college.
Right.
Because I gotta write essays in college. I'm not gonna write one to get in. So yeah, I had applied to TSU and got accepted. Oddly enough, I think I might have been the only one from my school at the time from my graduating class who went to TSU. Everybody else went to like UTK and all those other PWIs. I think I was the only one to go to a HBCU, and I remember looking back, I was like, "Yeah, I got in TSU," and they kind of chuckled a little bit. I was like, "What you chuckling for?"
You looking down on us, man.
Right. Like, man, I got into the first school of my choice.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to those other schools. Granted, I got, offered scholarship. I don't want to go there. Y'all boring. I had 12 years of this. I'm straight.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I got here, man, that first semester, I had known some folks because shout out to Gilbert. He was from Chat. He played cymbals. He was section leader. I had known him. I knew him. I had known him for a while. Him and his brother. But it was completely different. That 5:45. The band stuff be all nice when they get you there and they're talking to your parents and y'all it's all smiles and rainbows and stuff. But that 5:45 hit different. It's one thing to tell your folks, man. Yeah, we gonna get up at 5:45 and work out. We actually have to do it. It's like, oh no, sir. I didn't go to bed at 12.
Exactly.
No. Yeah, so after that first day, like I remember we were running to the field, like we normally do. You got the calisthenics, then you got the morning run.
Yeah.
Man, that asthma, because I got asthma, but it had died down or whatever. That junk kicked back in. I was like, oh, I can't breathe. Oh Lord. It showed up. I was like, can't breathe in the back. I can't do it. But after that, you get in shape after doing it for a couple of weeks because freshmen come in first. So after doing it for a couple of weeks, it's like, all right, I can do it. And the thing, even though they were hard on us, the upperclassmen who were themselves struggling on their first week back, they was like, hey, you good? Like they actually checked. It wasn't like freshman back. All right, forget them. No, like they checked on me, encouraged me to keep pushing and all that stuff. I'm like, I bet. Okay, so y'all aren't terrorists after all.
Right.
So yeah, that's one thing that helped me make it through. Yeah, man. But then I was also one of the gifted ones. And I picked up parts quick because I do research. I'm not finna come in here and not know nothing about y'all. Right. So I did some research, learned a couple cadences. Of course, I followed the golden rule. Don't tell them you know nothing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So I caught on quick. But I ended up, because I was only child, I was mad selfish. I was like, all right, I got this. I don't know what y'all gonna do. I'm finna go to the calf. So I skated a lot of times. I was like, bro, I see y'all, bro. I'm out. I got this part. I know I got the marching style. I can play the sequence. That's gonna be you. And they hit the ultimate reverse card. It's like, he don't know it. Why he don't know? I don't know. That ain't my fault. But right. Yeah. Let's just say, man, my arms were so, man. I was on the ground a whole lot. Just
superstar, huh?
Oh, right.
We got superstar.
Right. We gonna show you. All right. Yeah. It taught me the value of not being selfish. Cause when you with the drum line and you playing something, they don't hear. They're not just gonna say, "Oh, dude in the middle tearing it up." Now, I alumni might, because it's us, we family. But across the field, they're not gonna say, "Dude in the middle tore it up," but everybody else straight. No, they're gonna say, "Everybody tore that joint up." Yeah, exactly. The whole drum section just tore it up. So yeah.
Cool, man. So let's talk about the first game, man. What was the first game like for you, or what was the most eye-opening game your first year? And how about was either one?
Okay. First game, I wouldn't even say the first game because that was when we were supposed to play Southern for John Merritt that year, but they bus broke down, so they didn't get to the after the game.
Typical swag schools. But go ahead, bro.
Right. But
I'm just playing swag. Y'all about to come.
No, but so that first game, I mean, it was cool. It was low pressure until they got into the stands. It was like, oh, okay. I mean, it was Southern, so their drum line back then wasn't really talking about too much.
Yeah.
Now they starting to evolve, but that first eye opener, like when I knew it was like, oh, this is real.
Yeah.
Was Jackson Week.
Uh-huh.
And even before we got to the game, like that was the first time I had been in sectionals. So like it was literally 2 a.m. we in not sectionals, but tenor drum sectionals.
Mm-hmm.
So like in subsectionals, as I'll call it.
Yes.
Man, we had regular sectionals. We learned to train. We learned train 2. We did train 2 that year.
Mm-hmm.
We did that. We tightened all the songs down, all the cadences. It's like, all right, y'all can go home. Section was like, where y'all going?
Mm-hmm.
And we up to 2 in the morning learning solos,
Yeah.
all this stuff. I'm like, bro, for real?
Right.
So yeah, all that up to the day of the game. When we got in the game, it's like, okay, this battle right here, like they serious.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, it was definitely an eye opener. I enjoyed it by far, but it was definitely an eye opener for sure.
Yeah, listen, I'm my first game, I was the only freshman bass drummer, so I had to tape all the sticks.
Oh
I had
man,
to tape, yeah, and it gets worse and better, but it's worse, but it's better. But for me, the first game we played A&M. I taped the
okay,
sticks. I'm up all night taping sticks by myself, right? I get up the next morning because I tape. I can tape. I've been taping for years. So I get up, give everybody their sticks in the section. Devin on Saintfield has the audacity to look at his sticks and say, "Look at his sticks. I'm not playing with this shit." I'm like, bro, in my head, like, "Oh, you playing with these sticks, brother?" Because my X's didn't match at one particular point on the stick. That he wanted
bruh.
to cross it every time. Alice's sticks are nice. Robert's sticks are nice. Wow, look at my sticks. Let me see your sticks. Your sticks are nice. I'm gonna use these. I like you, little mother. I was so mad. I was like this man. My sticks were right too, bro. I learned then, but I didn't have to do
Oh
it.
man,
My jumps were right. I had my
I know.
and devil I wasn't trying. I wasn't rushing. It was just I was sleeping. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I got a little cross, man. This all. The little X was off, and my jumps felt
man.
good. Took my battles, man. That was my first game. Also, that game, Terrence McBride at the pep rally. If you, I got that's a picture. He lost. He didn't lose his headband. You used to leave the headbands in the window, and so
Yeah,
leave them there for so long. The sun
get them to stretch.
bring them on out of you. He didn't say nothing coming up into the game about getting a new headband. I would have got him a headband. You know what I'm saying? So he pulled his headband out of his car. My headband's in my car. He pulled his headband out. He's like, bro, look at my headband. Man, bitch, your head bigger, man. I got this old sock on my head, dude. I was like, man,
You
I
tie
was,
that junk in the back.
I'm just playing, going through the ranks, man. I was good. It wasn't no problem, man. But those,
Oh,
those two funny things that I can always look back on. Other than after that game, they told us, drummers, y'all can't tape no more. I was like, what?
what?
Yeah, '07, we didn't take. Go look at the tapes. Southern Hedge Club, we didn't have tape on our sticks.
For what?
It rained that year, so
Mm-hmm.
the bass drum match. It looked about this big regular, right? It
Yeah,
rained, so by the time we got through playing, the ball of our mat was about
yeah.
this swole, man. But we were wearing them guns out, dude. But we had no tape on our sticks, like not even black. They like nah, the
Yeah.
Danes first year. Yeah, I was horrible. It was
I
horrible.
didn't know it was that bad. Like I knew '07 was rough, but
Hey, we
wow.
were cold. Like we were cold, bro. But Jackson game, like that was just finna be a raping. We was just finna just run through them. We did. What no finna? We ran through them. But our sticks were so naked, bro. I was like, man, I got to take one time. I don't know if I say it got better, but it got worse. I ain't had to worry about them X's no more.
Got him! Got him!
Facts. Man, I couldn't tape. So we used to play one of my freshman brothers, George. He from Memphis. He
Yeah,
he used to tape. He was like,
yeah,
here.
yeah,
And just pay him like $5 a pair. So
yeah, man. Yeah, man. I got to take one game. We did one game. I was happy about it, but yeah, I was also happy about not taping again. So,
absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
yeah, man, cool. So the Memphis game, your freshman year, that was 10. You went into 10.
11.
You went into 11.
Yeah.
Leave, man.
I
No.
know, man. I'm telling folks, this is almost 10 years ago.
Man,
Goodness.
I know. I'm thinking about me. Oh, you surpassed me so quick, boy. But listen, that was
I
good
ain't
though.
good,
It's
man.
good, man. It's all good. I swear it is, man. But dude, 2010, man. The first Southern Harris class, man. Y'all went in there, y'all handled business. That was after that 2011. After that 2009, 2010. I think that's the year Pa said he stopped going to the game in 2010. But I think
Mm,
the revamp came. Your class was a big part of it. The 2011
yeah,
class. And when Pops came back in, that right there, you know, put us back on balance. So shout out to
absolutely.
y'all. Shout out to y'all big time.
Man, we
Oh man,
appreciate it.
you Mars 2 years. You was second your second year, right?
No, I was just on the end. I was
Yeah.
loud. That's what I tell folks.
I thought you was section leader.
No, and crazy part enough, Prof think the same thing. No, I was never section leader. I was just loud.
Oh,
So they
okay.
put me on the end. I remember I told the section at the time was Dontavius. We called him Dante. I told him, I was like, hey, I'm standing on the end this year. He was like, okay.
Oh man, Derek just here, Bogart. I see you, Prof. So y'all listen, current students, if y'all hear that, don't you do it. Don't you do it. I'm just
Yeah, don't do that. That might not go so well.
don't you
You doing
do
what?
it. So listen, man, you made a reference to man getting ready for that game, your freshman year. And y'all the band was like, all right, band, y'all good, y'all can go. And they were like, nope, don't go nowhere. And I was listening to John JJ was
Yeah,
talking about when Cheese had the section. I mean, that's just how and even when Cheese was talking about his time, that was the standard. Like, don't even think about moving, to sit still.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And we did, even with me, I never thought about, I know I didn't think about when they said, hey, y'all can go, of moving away from that spot. Because my expectations were we practice all night. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Even now, man, like even now after even still during COVID, um, Prof Nem, who got the best band land? TSU. They don't move. They
Mhm.
just stand up.
Right.
Getting attention. They don't go nowhere.
See, that's what I'm working on well, not working on. That's what we had to work on at Kahoma. Them boys,
Yeah.
they want, they weren't used to that structure, so they got to the point now. They just start when he dismissed. They just started looking back to see what's gonna happen. Some of them will try to sneak off, and then I say, hey, it's gonna be bad on y'all. They just
Mm-hmm.
U-turn. Let's come on back and get this thing over.
Are you ready for the show? Drum majors, Stephen Muldrow, Emmanuel Scott, Corey Reed, and head drum major, Mr. Derrick Greene. They are the Fantastic Four. Show Jackson State how to do real back bend. It's over.
Yeah, man, cool. So you got to be the drum major your
Yeah.
last 3 years. Now I know you were the head drum major. I ain't worried about that question. So how
Yeah.
was those years like for drum major at Tennessee State?
Man, honestly, the transition, low key, the transition was boring because I came from a like my second year. I was, coming into myself on the drum and in the section, and I was just having a good time on the drum, and then I was like, I have always wanted to be a drum major, so I went out, made it. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I still get to play drums. Nope.
Mm-mm.
It like I would come strap up sometimes, but yeah, it was virtually non-existent, especially because the tenor drums, they stand in front of when Prof Mac moved into Prof Ray's old office
Yeah.
in the band room. The tenor drum stood right in front of it, so he'll come out, he'll look, and then he'll give me that look like, "Boy, what you doing? Go get
Yeah.
on the podium or something." It's like, bro, I can't do nothing.
He can't do
Like I
nothing.
just want to play.
You blow this whistle now, boy. You suck and drive for us. That's what you do.
Literally, go
But
go up there and dance or something. Go
But man,
direct.
that's just a testament of the type of person that you are, man. And that is that you instantly went into that role and carried that thing over, and you were one of the staples of the drum major corps during your years there. When I think of drum major from the last few years, I know you come to mind, Troy come to mind.
Right.
Of course, Larry come to mind because he was a drum major with Nico. Those three come to mind.
Yeah.
But I don't know nobody else after that. So that's why I knew nobody else that was drum major with Troy. I can't think. I can't think of nobody that was drum major with you. But you guys stood out, man. You guys did an excellent job in
Man, I
that position.
appreciate it.
Man. So now, while we call you Prof is, once you graduated from Tennessee State University, you transitioned into a new thing, going into grad school at the University of Memphis. And once you completed the grad school, I think you transitioned back to becoming a percussion instructor at a particular school. So what's the name of the school that you are the percussion instructor at for the people that don't know?
So I have been fortunate and blessed and everything enough to come back and work for the best school in the land, in the world, Tennessee State University. After grad school, I was lucky enough to transition back. Like I knew before I left, Prof always throw hints like, "Hey, go to school, get your degree, get out." I was like, "All right, bet." Okay, bet. Because he throw a little hints. He did the same thing before I made drum major. He's like, "All right, you go work out. Make sure you slim down a little bit over the summer." All right. So yeah, man, that was it was wild because in 2017 I was finishing up starting my last year of my master's. I was Prof was like, "Hey, you gonna be in town this summer?" I was like, "Yeah." So he's like, "I want you to come work with the drum section." Because I was already doing ELG camp, the summer band camp. I was already doing that. He's like, "Well, would you mind working with the marching section?" It's like, "Bet." He said, "I'm at work." So I worked with them. The freshmen came in. I think the whole section was back. So I worked with them. And of course, Potts was still there because he was there before I left.
Right.
He was there. So me and him would tag team. I would be there, and then he get off work, then he come, and then I go do some stuff because I was going back to school. Mm-hmm. And we did that. And then I went back to school. I didn't see them probably to John Merritt, Southern Heritage, Homecoming. But looking back, it was really a blessing because those same freshmen who came in 2017, my first year starting out, are now seniors. Mm-hmm. So I've known them and have watched them grow. So when I graduated in 2018 and came back in that full-time capacity, I didn't have to. I wouldn't start from square one. I knew folks. Yeah. They knew who I was. They knew because when you come in, especially at a HBCU or in a traditional setting, traditional band setting, you gotta establish dominance, man. You can't come there being weak. Mm-hmm. So I was a terrorist. Yeah. And it takes them to talk about it, man. They cracked me up. Yeah. But yeah, I had to come in and let them know, I went here. I know this style. You ain't finna run over me. Like, right. That's not finna happen. So, when I got back, it was like, "Oh, it's you? Oh no, we straight. Hey, get attention. Not today, boss." Yeah. So that kind of helped. And so once that discipline was in line, man, we could actually work on like growing the section, upping the material and stuff like that. So Yeah, man, that transition it's been fun. It's been a fun ride ever since.
And y'all been working, man. Shout out to my boy Pods, man. He was
Absolutely.
listen. That man there is a bad boy, man. He most definitely helped that back to that incline up for the section, bro. And he
Yeah,
came on in and jump right on top of it to help keep that thing growing, man, and keep it in house. So
absolutely.
shout out to both of you guys, man. Shout out to you too, man, for being
I
an
appreciate it.
example, man. I look like I'm older, but I look up to you and how
Uh,
you become successful, man, and moved on to elevate and they continue to motivate me, man. I took a slower path to get where I'm going, but
and please, I still look up to y'all too, man. Like even when I was in Memphis, just watching the way y'all battle, watching the way y'all structure stuff, I was like, okay. I was just sitting there learning. I never said anything about it, but yeah, man, I was watching,
yeah.
watching and learning everything. So I appreciate y'all.
I was trying to proposition you to go somewhere, not knowing what you had in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you think about such and such, man. I'm trying to get you in place, man. But
Yeah.
it worked out, man. It
At
worked
the
out.
time, I couldn't talk about it. That's
I
why.
know.
That's why I was like, no, I can't do it, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, when I saw it, I said, listen, I know this will be a good one for us to go ahead and throw on the team, but probably Meg already had that done in development. So I like,
Yeah.
okay, I get it now. But
Nah, I
cool, man.
appreciate you looking out for me though, man.
Oh
That
yeah,
that
most
meant a
definitely,
lot.
man. Got to, man. Got to. Especially when I know people that's competent, man. They can get
Absolutely.
the job done. I know you one of those guys that can get the job done. So listen, about you being Prof. Greene now, what are your standards, expectations for people that are interested or planning to come to Tennessee State? What do you look for those people? What do you expect for them to have, know, or whatever?
So I'll start with the most common interest that I get, which is of course stair drummers. I always tell them the basic 40 is it. That's the basics. That's square one. That's the base level of what you need to know. And I don't mean know them as, I can play through them if I see them. No, if I call out a powder fly fly, you need to be able to play it. Or a lesson 25. And I purposely do that in auditions. I call out the rudiments that you normally wouldn't hear. Like
Listen,
I call out a 13 stroke roll.
listen,
I
dude.
call out yeah, man.
Listen, I remember doing when we had the little Memphis, we had a Memphis concert thing too. And man, the folks called a less than 25 out my senior year. I said, what? Number
Yeah.
25? I like
Lesson 25 get them every
less
time.
than 25. I like, what's that? You know what I mean? Good call, Prof. That's why you Prof. Go ahead,
Every
man.
time. Every time. So yeah, that's the base level. So yeah, so I'm gonna purposely call out rudiments that's gonna throw you off, like a double Radham-McHugh. Like, I can do single Radham-McHugh, a double Radham-McHugh. Or I might call out a flam paradiddle number one.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So I'm gonna call out something just to see what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing that I do after you've auditioned and played everything, and I sent you a scholarship offer. In June, what I start doing my first year, I send out a YouTube playlist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna tell me I know that you can play, but I want to know, are you about your business?
Mm-hmm.
So I send out a YouTube playlist with the warm ups, the marching sequence, and we just did that mixtape last semester. So I'm gonna send out some of those tracks too, and hopefully we can get some videos made so they can see. But I send those out and I say, all right, if you want to play snare or if you want to play tenor drum or if you want to play bass drum, whatever, we got a certain amount of spots. All this need to be learned before I even see you in person. You need to know all this. All I need to do is be able to walk up to the drum, call it off, and you be able to play it. The style, that stuff we teach you when you get here. But as far as the notes, you need to be able to play that. Because it's the warm. Honestly, our sequence, our marching sequence, is not that hard. It's more of a groove.
Listen, when you don't know it, it's hard, but yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like once you spend some time with it and get in a groove, it's like, okay, I can do this. But mentally, I guess when you see it, it's like, bro, this is 10 different YouTube, there's 10 different cadences. And you want me to learn that?
Right.
Plus the 3 in the warm-up sequence. And then the original Johnny Lane, you want me to learn that too? Oh, bro, no. But yes, I want you to learn all of that because that's stuff we play every practice. So that tells me if you come to practice if you come to pre-drill and that's learned, that tells me, okay, you about your business. All right, bet. So that's what I'm looking for. Honestly, in everybody. I know I said snare, but that's in everybody.
Yeah.
So cymbals. I just auditioned somebody the other day who wanted to play cymbals. I said, well, look, can you twirl? He's like, maybe. I said, you need to work on that. Because gone are the days where if you can't play, you just gonna play cymbals. No, sir. No, sir. My cymbal section will not get ran this year. Or anytime while I'm here. They won't get ran. So if you can't play, I'm sitting you down. And they know I'll do it. I've done it at a performance. And I won't say no. I'm gonna make a scene. Hey. No, I'll sit down. Fill in the gap. So that's what I'm looking for. Just somebody who is about their business, who got a good attitude, and who's gonna learn the material. Learn these rudiments, especially you music majors. Learn the rudiments. Learn the rudiments. Learn the rudiments. I can't say that enough.
I think that's the keys to this thing. Learn them rudiments, people.
Yeah. It's like trying to read a book without knowing the alphabet.
Right. You know your you know the verbs and syllables and pronunciation and all. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I look for in a prospective student. And then of course, the more you play, or the better you play. So I don't want you just to play everything just for the sake of playing everything. I always tell folks, don't try to impress me. I want to see what you can do as a musician. So if you're gonna play timpani and snare drum, do it well. But there have been times where I've given folks who've played everything okay, and another person who played just snare drum and they did it well, like flawlessly. Rudiments, flawless. Prepared piece, flawless. Even a solo that they like to play, flawless. And I've given them a higher amount just because they were about their business. What they presented was a better product, other than just being okay at a bunch of stuff.
Got it. Cool, man. Man, it's out there now, man. So everybody, if you interested in Tennessee State and you want to know what the expectations are to play on the drum line, listen.
Yeah, man.
You got the answer key. Listen, we tell y'all you two got all the answers. Well,
yep.
No answer for you.
For sure.
Yeah, some more answers. Well, cool, man. So listen, man, I'm gonna get some information, man. Come on, words. Shout out your email address where they can reach you. Yeah, you can just say it out here and I get it in there.
Cool. It's D is in dog, Greene, like the color, just with an E on the end. So D Greene 2 at tnstate.edu. So that's D Greene 2 at tnstate.edu. Reach out if you got any questions. Want to set up an audition? Just want to say what's up? Send me an email.
For sure, it's in there. Y'all look right there. It's in there.
Man.
Cool, man. Well, listen, bro. I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you.
Man, no problem, bro. Listen, it's nothing, man. It's nothing. This is a privilege for me, man. You took time out your schedule, brother. So.
Oh man, it's all good.
For sure.
Gotta take time for you.
Oh man, don't do me like that, man. You made me feel like I'm somebody.
You are.
Cool, man. Well, listen, man. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Tennessee State, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to the staff. Shout out to Brother Greene. Shout out to the current section. Shout out to everybody, man. We're gonna do this again, bro. Probably maybe in the fall. Once we order something, man, we get going, man. I got some more segments we got coming up. I'm gonna have to hit you up on it. It's coming up real soon. It's gonna be another chop rivalry section. So cool. But yeah, man. So yeah, we'll end it right there then, bro. So listen, for the rest of Chop Nation, always remember the chops don't stop.
Chops don't stop, man.
For sure.
This is VRoc Chops.